The asset browser in Blender is a really fantastic tool and can really speed up your workflow. You can take any object that you've created in any blend file and just drag it into new scenes, and it works really seamlessly. All the materials or the poses will come with that object. You can actually create new materials and drag those in onto objects. You can use poses and a pose library, and you can even select a whole collection and bring that into a new blend file. And it's really great because it's very easy to set up your different objects in different Blender scenes as assets. It's simple, right-click, mark as asset. But there is one really confusing aspect to this, which I'm going to go through in this video, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the updates in Blender 5 so there's no confusion. So let's jump into Blender and learn about the asset browser so we can speed up your workflow. I'm in a new startup file and I'm in Blender 5.1, and obviously a new startup file comes with a timeline at the bottom. We can actually click and drag to pull that upwards, and I'll change this to the asset browser. So that's the asset browser just here. Now you'll see something very different from mine. This is my user library, and it's actually a little bit confusing in terms of how to get assets from your Blender files into the user library. So I'll explain a bit further. If I go across to the left-hand side here, currently I've got all libraries selected, and this is my asset library dropdown. So all libraries is selected, and that's the current file, essentials, and user library, all three of them. If I go to the current file, that is this file just here. There's 3 objects in it. None of them are marked as assets, so we can't see anything in the asset browser. If I go to the essentials, these are things that are shipped with Blender, so hair assets or brush assets are in there. Then beneath that, we've got the user library. This is objects that I've made in other Blender files or I've downloaded, and they're in a special folder, so I can easily click and drag them in. And it's quite helpful because you can drag them in and see where they're going to be placed. You can even place them on the side of objects like this, or if I select this owl, I can place it on an object and it's placed in regards to the normals of that object. So it's quite helpful, and it's worth noting, if I go into material preview mode, that we can actually see the materials on these assets as well. So it comes in with their materials, and you can have pose libraries in your assets as well. So different poses of characters that you can place onto new characters and so on. So the asset browser is incredibly useful in that way. But like I say, it's a touch confusing about how we can get assets into our user library like this. Let's take this cube, for example. I'll zoom in on it with period key, and I'm going to turn it into an asset. First of all, I'll change it slightly. So I'll go into edit mode with tab, 3 to go to face mode. Let's select the top face, I to inset, E to extrude, I to inset, and E to extrude. So I've got this wonderful object that I really want to be able to use in my other Blender scenes. And I want to have nice quick access to it so I can just drag it in. So I'll go back into object mode, and it's helpful to remember that when you're marking assets, make sure you're in object mode. I'll explain why in a moment. Let's double click on this and call it wonderful ass for asset, of course, and press enter on that. I'll just bring my outliner down so we can see that more easily. And to mark it as an asset, remember to be in object mode, right click, and we've got mark as asset. And you can see this sort of library type icon appear next to it. So that's marked as an asset, which is great. And if I go across to the left-hand side of the asset browser, click on the drop down and go to current file, we can see my wonderful ass just there. And notice that it's given us this nice picture. That's why I chose to go back to object mode. I think in edit mode, it sometimes doesn't appear with a picture. So just be aware of that. So I've got this asset, but if I go from current file to user library and scroll down, we can't see my wonderful ass in here. And that's frustrating. You would have thought that right clicking and marking as an asset, it would just put it into this asset folder. Well, no, it's not as simple as that. You have to put this whole blend file into a special asset folder. And we find that asset folder under edit, preferences, and we go to file paths, and we've got the asset libraries just here. You can create different user libraries, and then you'd see them in the drop down here. Currently it says user library because it's just got one user library there, but you can easily add or take away user libraries at the side here. The all important aspect is the file path just here. So you need to set up where you're going to put your blend files so Blender can see them and therefore see the marked assets that are within them. So all your blend files have to be saved in this folder if you want to use them in your asset libraries. So for example, if I copy this file path and close this down, and then I go to File, Save As, paste the file path in here, and then save this as wonderful asset this time, and save. we should see that my wonderful ass is now added to my user library. So it actually is fairly simple once you get your head around it. You mark your assets in here with right-click mark asset, but you must also save this blend file in that special folder as identified under Edit Preferences File Paths. Now the other important thing to understand is the way it comes in, so the import method. This is slightly new, I think, to Blender 5. There's a pack option. So we've got link, append, and pack. Link brings it in, but it is very much linked to the old file. So if you make changes in the old file, it should update in any area it's been used in. Append is like copy and paste. So we drag the file in and we can edit it in any way and it won't affect the original. Pack is a bit more confusing to understand, but as I understand it, and as it reads here, it's importing the asset as a linked data block, so the same as the linked here, but it also packs it in the current file that you're using. So the idea is, as it says, it ensures that it remains unchanged in case the library data is modified. So in case the original file is modified, or if you accidentally deleted that blend file for some reason, you would still have it if you had dragged it into a new blend file. So that's a better one to use than linked, really, in my opinion, because it's kind of safer in a sense, and you have some protection that your assets aren't going to suddenly disappear. So either use append, in my opinion, or packed, and packed is the default. So again, I'll close this down and let's go to the import settings that we can see in the middle of our asset browser. You can see the import method is following the preferences, so it should be set to pack. So if I drag one of these objects in, so my wonderful ass, for example, he'll come in and it's exactly the same as the other one, and we can have asses on asses if we want. I really should have named that something else. So that's working well, and that's the packed method, and it's the same for any other assets that I bring in. So I'll undo that. Let's change it to, under the import method, to linked. So let's drag in one of these rocks. Now I don't get the same feature, and I drag that in and it pops in wherever it's positioned in the original scene. So it's not quite as nice as the packed version that we have available to us there. So I'll delete those. And just quickly show you that if I go back to pack and bring this asset in, if I go to edit mode now, it doesn't let me. So this is because it's looking at that original file and it doesn't want you to edit it. But you can see there's an error message down there. I'll show you that once again. So I'm trying to press tab and go into edit mode. You can see that it says that it's packed and not editable. Use make local to make it editable. So I can actually go to object. Under relations, there's make local and selected objects and data and materials if you wanted as well there. So I can now click on that and now go into edit mode and let's say edit this and make it into an even better rock, I would say. So that's why using packed is very useful. We can unlink it at any point. If instead I choose the append and then bring in this rock, I'm quite welcome to just go into edit mode with tab and start editing this one. And notice with this selected, it no longer has the asset label, and I could even label this as something else. Right click, mark as asset, make sure this blend file is saved in the asset folder and have a completely new asset. So that's the difference between the import settings. Now the one other thing I want to point out is that you can mark a collection as an asset. This tree here, for example, I just zoom out a touch, drag that in. This is a collection and I'm able to edit the different aspects because I've got append enabled here. So I can go in and change these things, make my tree wave in a weird way. But if I change this one to pack and drag this in and go to edit mode, I don't get that error message and I can only move it around as a collection here. And if I go to object, relations, make local, selected objects and data, it doesn't work. So that doesn't work for collections. I do like the fact that we can bring in collections, that's fantastic, and mark collections as assets. But if I want to edit this, I have to go back to the original blend file and modify the object there. So yes, you can mark collections as assets, but no, you can't make them editable within your new scene. So that's the asset browser in Blender 5.1, and hopefully that clears up any confusion that you might have. If you've got any questions, then do comment below. If you like this style of content and you want more methodical learning, then check out the links in the description to other YouTube playlists and my useful courses. Otherwise, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.